Hello my glam people, and welcome to our Glamrūm YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell to get our notifications. Today we are going to demonstrate how we do a microblading for men. As you can see there, that's my setup on my table, just the necessary tools, no more nor less. The cleaner the better. I'm going to start cleaning the client's eyebrows with green soap. Do a double cleanse with green soap, then I just wipe it down with alcohol. Make sure that they're really clean, disinfected, no oils in the area. Now I'm going to do my measurements. I love the stream method. I think it's pretty accurate and easy to do. I normally do like hands-free pre-draw with the stream method. When I say hands-free, I mean like I don't take measurements with the calipers. First I just do the stream method, then I use my calipers to make sure that everything is in the right place. Especially with men brows, you don't want to have them too perfect or too defined. You want them the more bushier and natural looking, the better. See, now I'm with my caliper, making sure that everything is in place. I'm correcting any line that is out of my measurements. Now what I do with men, I normally, and also I do it with women, but especially when I have a man client, I like to pre-draw the strokes too, so the clients know what they're getting into. So I like, and I also have my pattern. I'm using my China marker and drawing the strokes. That's gonna guide me and make it easier when I actually start working with my microblade. Obviously all of this is done after we take our measurements and when we do our outline. I go to the next brow and I start doing the same on the strokes. As you see, I'm going back and forth, looking at the other brow and going and drawing, like looking at the right brow, going to the left, looking at the right brow, going to the left. Even though I always tell my clients eyebrows are sisters, they're no twins, you try to make them like as symmetrical as possible. Now I'm going again with my string, making sure that everything is in place. And now I'm trying to get my shape approved. Super important. Most of the time we draw our brows when the client is laying down, but I like to always sit them up to make sure that everything is symmetrical, because you have a better view when you have them up. Now I'm cleaning all the lines, and why I'm cleaning all the lines is because once I get my drawing and I know everything is like in place, I like to clean all the lines so they don't distract my view point and I can't really see how the brows are looking. So then I can see if I have to correct anything, if I have to go something over something. As you see, I corrected like 2 or 3 strokes, and then I shave the brows. When I shave the brows, I try to do it with a razor. Don't wax before a tattoo. Don't never wax before a brow tattoo. You're just gonna traumatize the skin, and you want the skin as you don't want to compromise the skin before you start. As you see, I was showing you guys what I use. I use Tina Davis. Those are my go-to for microblading. I love the retention that they have, and they heal through to color. And I'm also using a 16V microblade. Pretty interesting in this. This time I'm going over the strokes dry. When I say dry, I mean with no pigment at all. I'm just going over the stroke that I draw with my China marker, and then I'm gonna rub the pigment on it to make sure you take it. Don't get scared. Sometimes you get a little bit of blood. Really normal. Just a little bit. You don't want the person like really bleeding. And we always warn clients not to drink caffeine or alcohol, take ibuprofen or aspirin before the appointment, and they normally say they do, but God knows. So now I'm rubbing the pigment or scrubbing the pigment on the skin to make sure that it goes on my strokes. I don't like to do a pigment mask when I use PermaBlend pigments, or Tina Davis obviously comes from PermaBlend, because they are really, they dry fast. So really, if I do a pigment mask, I mean, I am doing nothing, because once I apply it, like in seconds, it dries up. So I just scrub it really, really good, and then wipe it off. Now what you're seeing here, I already did the first pass on the left and right brow, and I have my right brow with the secondary numbing. I'm going over the left brow once again, going over the strokes that I already made. And when I do my first pass, I do like what we call a skeleton. I do super sparse strokes, and then on my second pass I go over those strokes, and on my third pass, then is when I add all the strokes in between. Now I'm just going on my second pass, implanting the pigment on the strokes that I already made. On my second pass, I do soak my blade in pigment and then go over. On my first pass, I don't do it because I really like to work clean and see what I'm going. And sometimes the pigment don't let you see in between the brows. Wiping down, I wipe down with every strokes. Some people don't. I do because I like to see everything. I would like to work as clean as possible to see everything I'm doing, what I'm going for. That leaves like little room for error. Pigment scrub once again, and don't be shy when you're scrubbing the pigment on the skin. You really want the skin to take that pigment, so just scrub it. And I'm wiping down just with water. Going to the second brow that has my secondary numbing. This time I'm not doing a second pass. His eyes got a little bit sensitive. Has nothing to do with pain. I promise you, he wasn't in pain. And I have to say that for the first pass, I didn't numb him, and I normally don't numb for the first pass because I like the texture of the skin changes when you numb it. So it just depends on the pain tolerance of the client. They have a low pain tolerance and they think that they won't be able to handle it. I numb them. I don't have no problem with it, even though I prefer not to. But if they can't tolerate it, I just go and do my first pass. I try to be light-handed with my first pass, and then I use my secondary numbing once the skin is broken, and then I go deeper. Now in his left brow, I'm just doing my third pass, which is like just, I would say, fill in the blanks. I'm not going over the strokes that I have done. I just going in between those strokes, creating density on the brows. And as you can see, I'm doing my 3 stretch point. I use my thumb and my middle finger to stretch the skin. Sometimes I use my thumb and my point finger, but normally I just use my thumb, my middle finger, stretch the skin, and then with my other hand, with my right hand, which is the one that I used to work, then I use my pinky, and that way I do my 3-point stretch. Especially when you're doing microblading, you want to stretch that skin well, so your strokes are like really crispy and heals nicely. Done. I'm making sure that everything is really clean, doing it with my green soap. up showing them, and you see me passing my fingers around. I'm just showing him in between his hairs how the strokes look. He was crying, not for pain, I promise you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you get our notifications. Please drop us a comment and let us know what would you like to see next, or if you have any questions about this, or if you want any suggestions for the products that we use, where to find them. Please like, comment, and share. See you next time.